Okay, what you're looking at here is a 2007 Buell Lightning. It's an XB12Scg. The CG means it was lowered from the factory, so the seat height is a few inches lower than a standard Lightning is, and the whole bike is lowered. The suspension, everything is lowered in harmony, so it rides beautifully. Now, one thing about videos that I've seen about similar bikes to mine is they never tell you why it's unique. Well, the first thing I'm going to tell you is this right here is not a gas tank. This is actually the air cleaner. The intake is right here, up in front, so it kind of rams air in. You might not be able to see it because of the reflections, but if you this cover is translucent, and if you look through it, you can see the air cleaner assembly and the K&N filter that I have installed. So the question is, if this isn't the gas tank, where is the gas tank? Well, obviously, here's where you fill it. The gas tank is the frame itself. The whole frame is the gas tank. That way, as you run low on fuel, it all settles towards the bottom and maintains your center of gravity. You don't have a gas tank up on top of the bike sloshing fuel around, throwing you off balance and that. It's all lowered. Everything is designed to keep this thing lowered and slammed in, with the center of gravity and keep your balance. Now, similar to the fuel tank, the oil tank does almost something similar. The swing arm here is actually the oil tank. There's a filler right there. So all the fluids are designed to run low, so you got a lowered center of gravity. You'll notice that the muffler itself is mounted directly under the bike. It's tucked up in there nice and tight underneath the bike. You'll see on some Jap bikes or other race bikes, they have this big huge muffler hanging off the side of the bike, sticking out. That's just throwing the whole bike out of whack, out of balance, out of synchronization. And so Eric Buell, he designed this to have everything tucked in tight and low, so that way your balance is perfect. Now, another feature of this bike that I love is the front brake rotor. The front brake rotor is a large ring that's mounted directly to the rim. That way, and it's a 6 caliper, this way when you're braking, all the force, all your braking power is going directly to the rim and the tire and the pavement. Whereas a centralized rotor around the axle is going to put stress on the wheel and stress on the axle and reduce the amount of available braking power. So that's just something that's really cool that I like. Now, the engine is what they call a Thunderstorm 1203. Essentially what it is, it's a Harley-Davidson Sportster V-twin that's built for performance. You know, the heads are worked. I think the compression is like 10-to-1 or something crazy like that. And that's kind of self-explanatory. You know, it's a Harley V-twin. You got a lot of horsepower and you got a lot of torque. Now, I didn't like the sound of the original exhaust, so I had the Jardine put on there. And it sounds a lot better. Now it sounds like a Harley. When I come roaring down the street, you think that the Harley is coming down the street. You can hear it for blocks away. But the problem is with the stock exhaust, you get 103 horsepower and 84 pounds of torque. Whereas after I had the exhaust put on, I was down to 90 horsepower and 74 pounds of torque. But you really don't miss it that much as far as riding it. Seat of the pants power, when you twist that throttle, this thing jumps. And I've slipped my hand off the clutch before and flipped it. But it's designed to be an engine with two wheels. There's no frills about it. There's no fairing. There's no extra garbage. It's just pure engine and two wheels. Let's see here. What else was I going to say? I forget. Let's start it up and see what it sounds like. Now this kitten just purrs when you're going down the road and you're keeping it around 4,000 RPM. But you can, I have yet to redline it, but you can get pretty dang close to redlining it. What is the red line on this? According to the tachometer, the red line is 7,000 RPM. But if you can hit 75 miles an hour in second gear, and like I said, I may have mentioned before, you know, you don't want to go over 120 because then the front end will start to float off the ground. So unless you're willing to lean over the front of the bike to keep the wheel down, I wouldn't go over 120 on it. But this bike is not really designed for the interstate. It's more for backcountry roads and mountainous roads with lots of twisty curves. But anyways, in a nutshell, I'm gonna do another video. I can't use this camera to do a road test video. I have another camera I'm going to try out, see if I can get that working, and let you see what it sounds like when it's on the road. But there you have it. That's the 2007 Buell Lightning XB12Scg Cherry Bomb.